that it had relished the honey. In fact, it could not even touch the honey, but not to speak of relishing its sweetness. The bee was simply self-deceived. Purport: the materialistic persons and commonplace so-called Vaishnavites believe that they have relished the nectar of devotion. In fact, they cannot even discover the source of transcendental mellows of devotion, Lord Krishna. In modern times, some people, while listening to chanting and performing musical recitations of the compositions of such stalwarts like Chandi Das, Vidyapati and the like on the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna, believe that they have relished the transcendental mellows of love from Lord Sri Krishna. In fact, they never reach the province of Lord Krishna's pastimes or his transcendental mellows. Some awful religious renegade and turbulent heretic like Kalapahad, the notorious iconoclast, may think that they can demolish and destroy deities and temples of the Supreme Godhead, and some egoistic so-called preachers may boast of finding out quite a good number of faults and discrepancies in the holy scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Even Ravana, the great king of demons, intended to abduct Sita Devi with an idea of enjoying her. In fact, they could not even have a look at the object of their lust and desire, not to speak of touching them. Ravana simply deceived himself by abducting only the shadow form of Sita Devi and failed in his attempt to enjoy her. If anyone tears up a map of India in anger and jealousy and thinks that he has destroyed the entire state of India, then it is nothing but his foolishness. Similarly, people who are inclined to go against Sri Hari and the spiritual masters, including all Vaishnavas, under the illusory materialistic knowledge, simply expose themselves as the most foolish entities on this earth. Sri Chaitanya Deva has said, Aprakruta vastu nahe prakruta gochar, Vede Purane te ekahe nirantar. Spiritual substance is never within the jurisdiction of the material conception. This is always the verdict of the Vedas and Puranas. Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22 and Text 4. Ataha hi anyonyam atmanam ato hi anyonyam atmanam brahma kshatram cha rakshataha brahma kshatram cha rakshataha rakshati smavyayah devah rakshati smavyayo devah saha yaha sat asat atmakah sayaha sadasadatmakah ato hi anyonyam atmanam brahma kshatram cha rakshataha rakshati smavyayo devah sayaha sadasadatmakah. Ataha, hence, he certainly anyonyam, each other, atmanam, the self, Brahma, the brāhmaṇas, Kshatram, the kṣatriyas, cha, and rakshataha, protect, rakshati sma, protects, anvayaha, immutable, devaha, the Lord, saha, he, yaha, who, sat asat atmakaha, the form of the cause and effect. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Srila Prabhupada. Translation: that is why the brāhmaṇas and kṣatriyas protect each other as well as themselves, and the Lord Himself, who is both the cause and effect and is yet immutable, protects them through each other. Please repeat. That is why the brāhmaṇas and kṣatriyas protect each other as well as themselves, and the Lord Himself, who is both the cause and effect and is yet immutable, protects them through each other. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The entire social structure of Varna and Ashrama is a cooperative system meant to uplift all to the highest platform of spiritual realization. The brāhmaṇas are intended to be protected by the kṣatriyas, and the kṣatriyas are also intended to be enlightened by the brāhmaṇas. When the brāhmaṇas and kṣatriyas cooperate nicely, the other subordinate divisions, the Vaishyas or the mercantile people, and the Shudras and the laborer class automatically flourish. The entire elaborate system of Vedic society was therefore based on the importance of the brāhmaṇas and kṣatriyas. The Lord is the real protector, but He is unattached to the affairs of protection. He creates brāhmaṇas for the protection of the kṣatriyas and kṣatriyas for the protection of the brāhmaṇas. He remains aloof from all activities, therefore is called nirvikara, without activity. He has nothing to do. He is so great that he does not perform action personally, but his energies act. The brāhmaṇas and kṣatriyas and anything that we see are different energies acting upon one another. Although individual souls are all different, the super soul or super self or super soul is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Individually, one's self may differ from others in certain qualities and may engage in different activities, such as those of a Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya, but when there is a complete cooperation among different individual souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Super Soul Paramatma, being one in every individual soul, is pleased and gives them all protection. As stated before, the Brahmanas are produced from the mouth of the Lord, and the Kshatriyas are produced from the chest or arms of the Lord. If the different castes or social sections, although apparently differently occupied in different activities, nevertheless act in full cooperation, then the Lord is pleased. This is the idea of the institution of 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas. If the members of different Ashramas and Varnas cooperate fully in Krishna consciousness, then society is well protected by the Lord without doubt. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that the Lord is the proprietor of all different bodies. The individual soul is the proprietor of his individual body, but the Lord clearly states, "My dear Bharata, you must know that I am also Kshatrajna." Kshatrajna means the knower or proprietor of the body. The individual soul is the proprietor of the individual body, but the super soul, the personality of Godhead Krishna, is the proprietor of all bodies everywhere. He is the proprietor not only of human bodies, but of birds, beasts and all other entities, not only on this planet but on other planets also. He is the supreme proprietor. Therefore, he does not become divided by protecting the different individual souls. He remains one and the same. That the sun appears on top of everyone's head when at the meridian does not imply that the sun becomes divided. One man thinks that the sun is on his head only, whereas 5,000 miles away another man is thinking that the sun is only on his head. Similarly, the super soul, the personality of Godhead, is one, but he appears to individually oversee each individual soul. This does not mean that the individual soul and the super soul are one. They are one in quality as spirit soul, but the individual soul and super soul are different. The Sanstha Bhaktivedanta Parpoto Madhyanatimirān Dasya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namavom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Sri Manu is explaining the system of Varnashrama in his conversation with Kardama Muni. In the last verse we have seen here, he explained that the brāhmaṇas have come from the heart or the head of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, universal form, and the kṣatriyas have emanated from his arms. Functionally, the kṣatriyas are meant to protect the brāhmaṇas, protect all the citizens of the kingdom. And here it is more clearly elaborated on the protection aspect. Ato hi anyonyam atmanam brahma kshatram cha rakshataha. So the brāhmaṇas and kṣatriyas are meant to protect each other. Of course, rakshati sma avyaya devaha. They are also meant, they protect themselves, but they are meant to protect each other. And then the Lord himself protects them through sadasatmak, sat asat atmakaha. He protects them through each other. So by design, Krishna has made the kṣatriyas as the protectors of the citizens, the kingdom. Particularly, they are meant to protect the brāhmaṇas. And then brāhmaṇas in turn, they protect the kṣatriyas by giving them enlightenment. In this world, when we want to progress towards God, Krishna consciousness, we require protection, because the material energy is designed in such a way that it facilitates the independent enjoyment of the jivas, and so there is a kind of a battle that goes on if somebody wants to practice Krishna consciousness. He experiences a opposing attachments in his mind. Everybody faces opposing forces against his direction, against his approach of the Supreme Lord. So these attachments are known as Mano Vyasangam. So there are knots in our heart, and those knots are holding us to this world. What are those knots? Very deep-rooted attachments to some enjoyment in this world. Everybody has his own way of getting attached to some type of enjoyment or some type of aspect here, and that is called the biggest knot. So, when a devotee practices Krishna consciousness, all these strong knots apparently starts coming in his way to progress, because he wants to develop his attachment to Krishna, but here is a big knot, a thick attachment is already there, which continuously opposes his attachment endeavors towards the Supreme Lord. So we all need protection for our progress, particularly protection from this Maya. So a Kshatriya, he has to ensure that the whole society gets the protection, so that they all can progress towards self-realization. That dharmasya hi apavargasya, the goal of dharma, this varnashrama dharma, is apavarga. That means how we can come out of these conditions which exist in this world. Pavarga is conditions, lot of conditions are there on us, but our heart says we want complete freedom, and such free life is possible only in the association of the Supreme Lord. So, Kshatriya, the whole Varnashrama is meant for that particular goal. Anyonyam Atmakaha, they have to help each other. It requires a lot of support. Society has to support, family has to support, and our employer has to support. There are so many people we deal with on a day-to-day basis, and imagine if everybody supports practice of our progress towards God, Krishna consciousness, then it becomes very easy. So that's why this Varnashrama is specifically created by God Himself to structure the society, to bring in some systematic approach towards life, and to get some discipline in the life. He has enforced, He has created this system. So these divisions of society, as we discussed many times, cannot be vanquished. These divisions are natural. They are part of this world's creation. So you cannot vanquish these divisions. But there should be anyonyam. The divisions should cooperate with each other. So the whole world is meant to be a cooperative society. Sometimes we hear no, dairy cooperative society or some other cooperative, so many cooperative societies are there. They want to cooperate with each other to enhance a certain purpose. For example, milk cooperative society, they want to enhance the milk production, their business or whatever. So similarly, any society will have some divisions. For example, if you look into the dairy cooperative society, there will be some chairman or president. There will be somebody advising them. There will be somebody who is actually doing some work on the ground. Like that, you will always see these divisions. These divisions should not be hated or envied, but rather one should see how these any community, any organization, any society flourishes if there is a nice cooperation. Similarly, this cooperative spirit should be there at the family unit. Even a family is also a small structure. So there are some divisions of labor inside the family also. Husband is supposed to do something, wife is supposed to do something. And as a family, they have to have the goal of progressing towards Krishna. If these simple family units are successful in cooperating, then the society will become very bright and jubilant. But if there is a problem within these small units, as a society, nobody can be happy. So, why this unhappiness comes into this system? Instead of cooperating with each other, if these divisions become exploitative, one wants to exploit the other, or one wants to demand more rights, then when they become like that, then it becomes deteriorated into caste system. Varnashrama, the beautiful Varnashrama system which God created, it gets deteriorated to caste system where everybody demands respect, everybody demands entitlements based on his birth. I am born in Brahmana, so I have to be respected. But actually these classes are not meant for that. These divisions are not. These divisions are meant for setting up a highest goal of life. If people look upon someone that yes, this is where I have to reach, that's the idea. Everybody is, say, low class activities, and there is no example to set what is a high level of existence, then what is the use of such society? You say everybody is one and everybody is engaged in low class activities, then where is the inspiration to progress in life? Radha Govinda ki jai. There is nothing. Why I should give respect to somebody? I am also equal. He is also a human being, I am also a human being. Why I should respect? If the society degrades like that, then where is the example? Everybody is doing the same. Previously, if somebody, for example, let us say, if somebody drinks, he is seen as, he clearly knows it's actually very abominable action. And there are people, exalted people, they never get into any of those things. So there is an example. Now this drinking, all these four sinful activities, they are assimilated into the society. They have become a normal practices, assimilated. Previously they were seen as abhorred. No, these are not good. Why they are not good? For your progress towards God, they are not good. But now all of them are assimilated in the name of equality and this and that and all that. And they don't want to respect that quality of somebody having that such kind of quality. This is the issue. So that's why here it is mentioned, there should be anyonyam atmakam brahma shatram cha rakshataha. There should be a mood of protecting each other, helping each other, so that this great goal can be attained. Because transcending this maya, illusion, is not ordinary journey. It's a very big, very powerful forces. Actually, once the demigods, they become victorious on the demons, and they become very powerful. In fact, they become very opulent and a lot of money, a lot of enjoyment, that too in the heavenly planets, you imagine. So, all the demigods in celebration, they are enjoying the opulences. And one day Indra was there on the throne along with the wife. And then, there are so many programs going on in that sabha. Some parties are glorifying him, some are dancing for his pleasure, all the demigods are also enjoying. The whole mood is, celebration. At that particular time, the guru of the devatas, Brihaspati, he enters into the sabha. When he enters into the sabha, actually Indra, he observes that Brihaspati has entered, but still he doesn't take any steps to respect him or to receive him. He is actually guru of the devatas and is a brahmana, exalted brahmana, very powerful brahmana. And Indra, not wanting to disturb the mood of celebration and all those, this thing, although he recognizes that he entered the hall, he doesn't take any steps to respect him. So, Brihaspati immediately recognizes this. He understands that, although Indra recognized me, still he is not taken in. So, immediately Brihaspati, he decides to go back. He returns He moves away from the hall and then he goes back, he turns back and goes away. And then as soon as he goes back, when Indra saw his reaction, immediately he feels that, I should have not done this, and I want to go and ask forgiveness from Brihaspati. He openly recognizes that. And when he wants to approach him, Brihaspati, what he does, by his power, he becomes invisible to the demigods. He becomes invisible. So Indra, they are all searching, but they could not find Brihaspati anywhere. Imagine, the gods of the universe, they are searching for their guru, and then he is not visible. And then, so Brihaspati is displeased, the guru is displeased, and that way the demigods have become weak. Seeing this opportunity, the demons, they start preparing a battle on the demigods, and of course, indeed, they attack the heavenly planets, and they drive away all the demigods from their kingdom. The demigods are all full of all the wounds and all those arrows and all that, and they go in front of Brahma, Lord Brahma, to seek protection. As soon as Brahma, he sees from his vision that these demigods have offended their guru, Brihaspati, then he chastises them. By your arrogance because of the opulence, you have offended a Brahmana, who happens to be your own spiritual master. That's why you lost all your power. Recently also some elections happened, state level elections. Everybody is predicting one particular party will come. Suddenly, mysteriously, he didn't come. Everybody is saying, what is the reason? What is the reason? Everybody is worried. But actually, if somebody offended a Brahmana or a Vaishnava guru, then there is a possibility that they will get the reaction. Immediately they will get the reaction. So, as soon as they offended Brahmana like that, they lost protection. Demigods, they require protection, kṣatriyas. They are powerful in their bhala, but they need direction. They need direction. So we can see from that example. Now, Prabhupada explains in the purport why Indra has, Brihaspati's position, Indra could not recognize. Because Brihaspati comes every day. So then, every day coming, so then Indra thought, okay, there is no need of any special respect. Har ek din ho raha hai. This is what it is. So this is called familiarity breeds contempt. This is actually not just a proverb. It's not just English proverb. This is how Maya works. Maya has two aspects, Prashrepatmika and Avaranatmika Shakti. Avaranatmika means slowly it will cover the special significance of everything, about God, about this Brihaspati or about Brahmana. We become familiar. This familiarity is inbuilt into this Maya. We become familiar and familiar. So once you become familiar, you lose value. You feel, why I have to give some respect, special consideration. It becomes normal. And then once it becomes normal, the next level is, the Maya continues to act. Slowly, even that respect also goes. Forget about special respect. Even the regular respect goes. So this is how the Maya slowly takes away that earned reverence and everything from our hearts, and we feel everything normal. And as soon as you think some superior personality as equal to you, normal, and it's all okay, then the degradation begins. Familiarity comes. And as we become familiar, then what happens? You start seeing mistakes. This is the next step. you start depreciating the person or the environment or whatever. For example, we have great excitement and whole thing about Krishna consciousness when we come in the beginning. We are jubilant, jumping, dancing and all. Why? Because we have great respect. We know what we got is very precious. We are all excited. On a day-to-day basis, we want to be part of this. But slowly, Maya, for sure, will come into our minds. Slowly it becomes normal. And slowly he will think, why this devotee has not come today? Why he has not done this today? Why he has not done that today? We will start thinking all those things. That means the value is eroding in our hearts. This is how Maya works. It takes away bit by bit, that importance of it. That's what happened to Indra. And that too, when he is enjoying that opulence and position, Indra actually forgot that he has to respect his own guru. So this is the danger. Familiarity forces. This is avaranatmika. Maya covers up like that. So how do we counteract this familiarity? Because after all, every day we will be together and practicing. And let us say our seniors, they come to our temple regularly, say GBR or any other senior devotees, they also, let us say, they come regularly. There is a tendency that we lose, that much of value, and it becomes normal, common, and all those. So this is a very dangerous force of Maya. One has to always keep in mind what is the position of these brāhmaṇas and Vaishnavas. Position of the Supreme Lord in his deity form, Radha Govinda. Position of the spiritual master. These things we cannot afford to make it a commonplace. So then how do we counteract this? The only way is to associate with this Vani of the spiritual master, where you will get the real value of what we are having. Real position of God, you will understand, and then we will be alert in our next day services. So this is very crucial. Appreciation will counteract the familiarity. Appreciation. Glorifying Vaishnavas, glorifying the devotional service, glorifying the kind of facilities that we have, glorifying the path, parampara, all these things are actually glorifiable. They are actually very superior energy, but then we have failed to see this, and that's why we require protection. So that's why sometimes some senior devotees will come and inspire and say, see, this is what you have to. Look, the japa is so important. Look, the sadhana is so important. Somebody has to tell us. So that's why associating with Srila Prabhupada, he is the perfect brāhmana, he is the perfect Vaishnava. He is so by hearing his Vani, we can become inspired. Yes, such a glorious opportunity I have got, let me take advantage of this. And so when devotees, they are progressing, obviously obstacles will come, and so that's why here it is mentioned, Krishna, he made this system of protecting each other, particularly the top two classes, brāhmaṇas and kṣatriyas. They are meant to protect each other. They have to keep an eye on each other and then ensure that they get the right protection at the right time. So actually, if you see, Varnashrama, if you see, it is designed in such a way that they have to help others. There is a element of helping anyonyam rakshati. So they were trained up in such a way that they think of the welfare of others. there is some elements of paropakara is built up. Element of responsibility is built up. A king feels responsible. Even one citizen complains, he takes it very seriously. He is always thinking how they can be comfortable both materially and spiritually. Most important is the spiritual comfort. So that's why those kings, they are very famous, like Yudhishthira Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, even Lord Ramachandra, who acted as an ideal king. Their kingdoms, their qualities are remembered even today because the way they treated the citizens, they gave respect to the superiors like brāhmaṇas, and they set an example in the society that yes, we all have to progress towards a certain goal. This is the responsibility of the leader. Leader has to preach by practicing, by example only. Achar and then prachar. Mahaprabhu always mentioned this. So Kshatriyas are meant to practice themselves. They have to become rishis, Raja Rishi, and then they should encourage everybody to follow in that rishi path. Now you are seeing, the biggest leader in the society, in the state or wherever, he will be the first person to be arrested by his corruption and this and that and all those things. So now all the people who are all watching, what is the example that you are setting? All agencies are busy in his house. So now so what is the example that you are setting for others? Everybody has become corrupt. Corruption has become global, universal, and it is also getting assimilated into the society. Nobody feels this is something different. So this is not the society. Society means there should be a great example for attaining Krishna. That should be the goal. And we should ensure that we never offend any Vaishnava, any Brahmana, so that we can progress nicely. Any questions? Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.